Goeienaand. Good evening. Sanibonan, Molweni, Avoshani. Bom dia, bonjour, buongiorno, guten Tag. I've run out of languages. How's it? Hey! Wow, it's good to be with you. Friday night, we made it to the end of a week. Everyone I've spoken to this week, when I say how things going, they start telling me about their financial situation. And it's dismal. And from the Uber drivers to friends to everyone. And so I think it's quite an accomplishment to get to Friday. So well done. You got to Friday. Cheers. Welcome to the show. Firstly, I'd like to say this. I was leaving Garth's house an hour and a half ago or so. And I said, I haven't prepped for the show. I don't know what to talk about. He said, you do know what to talk about. Talk about musicians. And I thought, oh boy, don't get me started. If I start talking about musicians, I'm going to go on and on and on. But I thought I'd limit myself to a little bit of conversation tonight about the state of the South African music industry. I've got something to say, and I actually don't care what anybody thinks. And I don't care what... Sorry, I've got my wallet in my pocket, and it's bugging me. Yeah, I think someone needs to, not one person, all of us actually, but someone needs to light the fire. Someone needs to get the ball rolling, and someone needs to speak up, so I'll do that tonight. What I say might not be popular, but like I said, I turned 50 last year, and I don't care. I think that's what happens when you turn 50. You go, I don't care. I'm going to say what I need to say. But firstly, I want to say this. Last night we put on a live broadcast of the Garth Taylor Show, Traders in Times Square, Pretoria, really nice venue. And I didn't have you with me. I was busy controlling the lights. Jeez, it was difficult. I needed 20 fingers and I only had 10. I was like this for 1 hour. Tick, 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 tick. Someone brought me a Coke. I said, I can't drink it. Someone brought me a chair. I said, I can't sit on it. Tick, tick, tick. I did that the whole night. Well, for 1 hour, not the whole night. And then when I got home at about 1:30 this morning, I watched the show back like I do with my shows. And then I looked at all the comments and I read through your comments. And I want to say this. I've been wanting to say this to you the whole day, wherever you are watching this program. I started this program with two goals in mind. One, I'd like to buy a Ferrari, so I wanted to become valuable, okay? I don't care whether it's 1 million people watching or 100,000 or 10,000, whatever the number is, but I wanted to become a valuable show because I believe that content in South Africa should be as valuable as content anywhere else in the world. Unfortunately, as South Africans, we've got a lot of odds against us, but I've got that line, I'm going to do it anyway. And I think we should all have that. I think a little bit of that is good. I was speaking to kids at a conference the other day, youngsters, teenagers, and they wanted me to give advice. I mean, what advice do you give a 16-year-old? And I just said, you got to develop the mentality from the age you're at now. Pick a dream, follow it. And when you follow in that dream, tell everyone around you and tell yourself 100 times a day if you need to, I'm going to do it anyway. And that helps you develop grit. That helps you develop determination. That gives you a thick skin. That gives you focus. That gives you a direction to go in. I'm going to do it anyway. So it's against all odds that we put shows like this together. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it with your help, of course. And thank God that I've got people watching the show who are just, why I say amazing, is when I was reading through the comments at about 3 o'clock this morning, I saw people talking to each other. I saw people saying hello to each other. I saw people wishing each other well. I saw people talking about their problems that they've got and sharing their pain. And I sat on this couch reading through the comments and I thought, Tom, this is the beginning of something big, okay? Because this world needs more compassion. This world needs more people to inspire each other. It doesn't need more perfection, and this is where I think things fall short. We have an online world now, and we have a society around the world that pushes for perfection. Perfection everywhere. Perfection in the way you dress. Perfection in the way you talk. Perfection in your bank account. Perfection in your career. Perfection with your friends. Perfection in your relationship. We're aiming and striving for perfection all day long. I think we should just aim for real, because nothing and nobody's perfect, and we're never going to make everything perfect. But if we have compassion for each other, and we can inspire each other, those two little things that we can do, it doesn't cost a cent. We can move mountains together. And I believe that. And at 3 o'clock this morning, I saw the interaction between you in the comment section that happened while the show was live, while I was pressing the like buttons. And I did. I thought to myself, Tom, we're starting something here. We're starting a movement. This London gang, I wasn't even there, and they were taking care of business. You tell me one show in this country, and this show's only 18 shows old, and the audience is minuscule right now. But you name one show in this country where the host can leave the show for a whole show, and the listeners are still there, or the viewers are still there, and they're still interacting, and it's all still going on. I've never seen that before. And I sat here at 3 o'clock this morning, and I thought, this is a little show, Tom, but it's going to grow, because if this is the foundation of the show, I'm a happy chappy. So my first thank you tonight is to you. I know I say thank you a lot, but I mean it every time I say it. I really am grateful that you press the play, that you've got other things to do in your life, I'm sure. I'm glad you spend an hour a night with me. We got some voice notes. Let's check in with what's happening. I'll get to the comments in just a second. Aubrey Moreno.
Yeah, I don't think that voice note came through very well, so I'm sending another one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to make the show tonight. I have a
excuse me, you have a what?
function on. I have to look
function.
after a few people,
All
so
right.
I've got to focus.
Focus?
So
Yes.
yeah, I won't be on the show tonight, unfortunately. I'll catch up tomorrow when I get home. Be safe, everyone. Be cool. Enjoy the show, and I'll speak to everyone later. Shop. Bye.
You see, that's the spirit I'm talking about, London gang. 2 days ago, we introduced you to Dustin Miller, who lives in Florida. Dustin Miller is moving. He's on the move as we speak, driving across America, moving to start a new life in Motor City, Motown, baby, Michigan. Detroit bound is Dustin Miller. Dustin sent his first report in from the US of A. Are you ready? Here we go. Here's Dustin's first report. If I press the play button, or do whatever I need to do here. Yeah, that little...
Well, London gang, hello from sunny Florida, USA, where I am on my way out. Finally loaded the truck. Chewy the Wonder Dog is down here sleeping between the seats. He's done hardly any work today. And we're on the road. Let's see, I've got my vehicle behind me. And it says 16 hours between here and Michigan. So I'll keep you posted with some short videos along the way.
Thanks.
Hope you're all well. I'm going to try and listen to the show coming up in just a few minutes. All right. Bye-bye.
Dustin Miller, our friend in America. We now have friends in Denmark. We have friends in the UK. We have friends in Canada. We have friends in Australia. We have friends in Portugal. We have friends in South Africa. We're extending the network globally and turning this into an international movement. And you are the founding members. Let's get to the comment section and see who's on board. Robert Bruce Naismith was the first on board tonight. Robert says, good evening all. Lil Cook says, has Coca-Cola sponsored you? If not, why not? I'll tell you, because I don't have enough viewers to attract their attention yet. So you've got to tell a friend who you know is free on weekdays at 9 o'clock. That's what you got to help me. You got to help me get the sponsorship. You got to say to a friend, hey, by the way, I know you don't do much at 9 o'clock on a Monday to Friday. Join us. Become a member of the London gang. You don't even have to go cap anyone's ass. You just have to join. Lil Cook, they will sponsor me, Lil. One of these days. Dig your shorts, says Robert. Yeah, my knees are on this. But first, I became so self-conscious when I sat in front of the camera tonight. I thought the first thing that's going to happen, my knees are on display, Wendy Mechanic's coming out to play. Alistair Jameson says, make mine a Captain Morgan spiced gold with that Coke. Yes, sir. Coming right up. Gaynor Alice Benfield Schulenberg says, hi, Tom and the London gang. Thanks for last night. Terrific evening. Carlos Hartwell. Did you hear me say Carlos? Carlos Hartwell. Hi, Tom. Good evening, London gang. Yay. And so tomorrow is the big day. The rugby. R-U-G-B-Y. That dirty 5-letter word. Shelley Green out of Australia says, good evening, Tom and the London gang. Craig Blichnote. We didn't get to spend enough time together last night. I felt bad about that. But we'll sort that out. Craig Blichnote was at Traders last night. Good evening, sir. And to you, sir. Beth Lloyd over in the UK says, hello, everybody. Who else have we got on board tonight? Patricia Ann Scott says, hello, everybody, down in Cape Town. Brenda Beckett. I was thinking of the Becketts just before I pressed the play button on the show. I thought, the Becketts have been moving around and doing so much the last couple of weeks, I can't keep up with them. They need to come home to the show. I thought, yeah. Brenda and Clive, where are they? Just before I started the show, I actually thought of the Becketts. Gaynor's had a better day today. That's nice. Henrietta Cortez out of Denmark says, hello all. The ball is already rolling. I believe that too. Nice comments coming in about the show last night. Tammy Singh. Tammy, hold on, we can't say Tammy Singh. And if you're watching the show for the first time, by the way, my style of broadcasting is to involve the listener and the viewer in the show, to become the characters of the show, to become the stars of the show, and Tammy Singh is doing a good job so far. Because whenever we hear the name Tammy Singh, we think of this little riff. Tammy Singh's on board. The Coca-Cola's flowing, and the London gang is in the room on Tom London's personal page, on the Tom London Show public page, on the YouTube channel. Hello, YouTube listener. Hello, YouTube viewer. It's also broadcasting live on Twitch. Now, Tammy Singh has got a sweet face. It looks like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. But Tammy Singh has a naughty side. Did I say naughty side? Yeah, naughty. Who's your daddy? Who is your daddy? I guess I should take Dustin Miller's video off the screen there. How's it, Tammy? Good to have you on board. Wouldn't be the same without you. Or Dave Walters, who says, buy Bitcoin. Yeah, don't you wish you'd bought Bitcoin when it cost a cent or two? To Portugal we go. Howdy, Tom, and all the beautiful peeps. Josie de Oliveira. Russell wants me to call him. I'm not doing calls out tonight, but I will next week. How's that, Russell? We'll do a call next week. Barry Bowditch, acclaimed photographer down in KZN. If you have a wedding, you want Barry to take your pictures. Beautiful people on the show, says Barry Bowditch. Cheryl Wehan. Whoa! Stop the presses. I met Cheryl Wehan years and years ago. So many years ago, it's a blur. I have vague memories of the studio visit at 702. But I saw Cheryl and Penny last night, and I'm actually wearing Cheryl's t-shirt. I don't know if you noticed, Cheryl. I told Cheryl, Cheryl gave me this t-shirt last night, and it says, Fun Family, Waggable Fun Family. So I said I'd wear it on the show tonight. I saw Cheryl and Penny last night. We had a laugh. We spoke about, in a matter of 10 minutes, we covered life, girlfriends, ex-husbands, basset hounds, parrot nutrition, and what else did we cover? I don't know. Yeah. And we smoked cigarettes. It was great. Cheryl Wehan, you owe me a voice note. You can't come to the show, spend time with me, and then not pop a voice note. It's good to see you saying hello to each other and making friends with each other. Wayne Davis Hannibal, top class swimming instructor and great sportsman, joins us tonight. The only problem with Coke is it makes you burp. Dave Walters says the show's like the Velvet Underground's debut album. It only sold X amount of copies, but everyone who bought a copy started a band. I like that, Dave. Thank you. That's very nice. Where's Chewy? Chewy was in between the seats. Yeah. I also dig my shirt. I'm going to wear this shirt. That's my cousin Michael on board. Spiky Mikey joins us. How's it, Mike? Caroline Ungersbrook, a lot of people saying hello. Greetings from the Karoo. That's where I'm going to live someday. I'm going to start a hotel in Sutherland, under the stars. That's my dream. Justin Chamberlain, my good friend, says, hello, Tom, and hi, everyone. Happy Friday night. So nice to see the messages coming in. We got Sarah Key out of Santon, says, hello, all. Who else we got? Laura Kathleen says, just want to tell you, Tom, and remind you how you helped me and kept me strong as I was nursing my mom through cancer. We would talk for hours. You always encouraging me. You even wrote a message to my mom on the helicopter. Oh, yeah, that was Air Angels did a breast cancer awareness month, and if you lost anyone through cancer or wanted to write a message to someone, you could write it on the side of the helicopter. That was really cool. You taught me 2 words, hold tight. I use those words often. Yeah, what else can you do? Thank you, Laura. You just got to hold tight sometimes. Life can be a roller coaster, and that's all. Hold tight, just breathe, same thing. Is it All Blacks t-shirt? No, this is not an All Blacks t-shirt. This is a Waggable t-shirt. How's Bob doing? Not well. Bob is my Venus flytrap and is looking yellow, not green, and I can't understand what's going on. Okay. Oh man. Don't get me started. I'm gonna go on a rant. I know I am. And I'm in a good mood, so I don't know what a good mood rant looks like. We're about to find out. I love your comments. I love to see the interaction. I also like to hear what you've got to say about topics and what you've got to say about things. I like to bash our thoughts around in the hope that we can find some common ground. And what I'm going to say now is, tomorrow, the whole country is going to stand in front of television screens, and I will too, because I can't avoid it, and there's not, it just happens when there's a Rugby World Cup final on. Even though I don't watch rugby, even though I couldn't tell you who's in the South African rugby team, even though I haven't got a clue about scores and rules and stuff like that, I will still, every World Cup final since 1995, actually that year I was delivering pizzas. I was a pizza delivery boy back then. I couldn't watch it, 95. But since 95, every year, every final, I have been with other South Africans watching the Rugby World Cup final, whatever one we've been in. And I cheer just as loud and I feel just as proud when the team win as everybody else. All of a sudden, I'm a rugby fan. But actually, I think what I am is a South African fan. And perhaps rugby is one of the only areas in South Africa where we're proud, where we excel and we're proud of it. So it's easy to support rugby. Easy to feel proud about the achievements of the South African rugby team. And I find it easy to do that too, right? But these guys will come home millionaires. Some will have great futures ahead of them in the game. Some will be beset by injury. But they'll do okay because they're revered. Last night, we put on a show that really needed 10 crew to do the show we did last night. If you were really looking at, you need one guy at the computer, maybe 2. You need one guy at a mixing desk. You need someone front of house mixing sound. We're at 4 or 5 people already. That's before you get to the person who checks the tickets at the front door, 2 there, merchandising people, runners, riggers. I can go on. It could be 20 people to put a show like that on. But reasonably, you could do it without a headache with 10 people. We had 1. And I came back and watched the show, and I could see the technical problems here and there. But I kind of gave myself a pat on the back. And for everyone on the team, I managed the Garth Taylor band and Garth Taylor, and have been for 4 months. And I got back into the music industry, as well as my other things I'm doing, to see how far we could take a band. What I've learned in 4 months has just shocked me. Shocked me how difficult it is for a music artist in South Africa to make a living. Shocked me to see how even musical artists or music artists who are at the top of the heap, at the top of the game, still struggle. How nobody's driving Ferraris like guys do overseas. How nobody's got nice mansions with bubbling jacuzzis and LED lights and stuff. You guys need side hustles to make the money so that they can go and do the thing they love and are good at. And this amazing contrast of having to put world-class or try and put world-class entertainment together without any resources or assistance from anyone. Watching an industry where South African musicians win Grammys. This last year we've had Grammy winners. It's a one-day headline, 4 lines down on News 24. And the next day it's gone. The arts community talk about it for another 3 weeks. But the country doesn't pay as much attention to a Grammy winner as a Rugby World Cup winner, right? The country doesn't pay as much attention to an award-winning sculptor or artist as they do to a cricket star. And don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-sports. I agree with Madiba that sport is one of the greatest ways to bring people together, and I think it's essential in the fabric of a country. But I worry about a situation in any country, not just ours, where artists aren't celebrated and revered. The people who make work which outlast their lives. You know, an artist's work outlasts their lives, unlike most of our work that we do in life. And these are the people we're shortchanging in South Africa. So I took on 2 very difficult tasks this year, is what I'm trying to tell you. One is I'm putting on an online show, starting it from zero, with also very little resources, and building it, and we'll get there. And 2, I then went and chose the most difficult industry in the country to work in as well, which is the music industry, against all odds. Against all odds, and despite all the difficulties and challenges, I believe that this band, the Garth Taylor Band in Garth, we're going to get this thing to the best live performance in South Africa. That's the goal. We want the best live show in the country. Are we there yet? No. Do we need resources? Yes. But mostly, what the arts need and entertainment needs in South Africa is the support of South Africans, the support of government, the support of South Africans, and the support of business. And I just wanted to say that tonight. I'm sorry. If it's boring or if it's not fun or whatever, I've been carrying this bee in my bonnet for a couple of months now. And I think that it's high time that we treat our artists as well as we treat our sports stars. So I'll be cheering for the Bokke tomorrow night. But I hope the day will come in my country where we cheer for our musical stars, people who win Grammys, people who are at the top of their game just as loud. That's my wish. That's my prayer. Now, I know while I've been talking, you've been talking. So let's see what's going on here. What do we got here? Gillian Watson is on board. I had to give you a t-shirt. I was scared you'd wear the Springs one again. That's next week. Alistair Jameson wants to know, and where's the butler? He's over there, 4 meters that way. He's keeping an eye on the driveway, making sure that people don't come in, basically. I want to be alone. And the cactus. Everything's here, it's all good. Why is Audrey Hepburn sideways? That's to mess with the OCD bunch. Right, OCD people, you can now go back to being calm. You can look for other things. Am I sitting in the center of the screen, for example? Dead center. I need my OCD peeps to make sure. Sport can unite, says Ben. Amen. That is true. I watched most of the 95 World Cup from hospital. I was a gunshot survivor. What? You can't just spring that on us. You were a gunshot survivor. Man, gunshot survivors are rare. You're a rare breed. Hooked on rugby ever since. Gunshot survivor. Serious. I didn't know that. I'm an almost gunshot survivor. I think a lot of South Africans are almost gunshot survivors. It's not quite the same as gunshot survivor. Almost. Guy tried to shoot me once because I kissed his girlfriend. I didn't know she was. She didn't tell me. She was the bouncer's girlfriend. That was even worse. Oh, man. That's the closest. I've had other experiences, but that one was very close. There was a 357 between my eyes, and the hammer was busy going back, and I thought, better start praying. Anyway. Tom, I had a conversation with someone, and I told him I wish people can support the artists and poets and the authors the same way they do the sports players. Yeah, I do too. But it just starts with a little flicker of a flame. That's all. Just a little flicker of a flame. You know what it means for an artist, for 100 people or 200 people to come to a show? Just 100 or 200 people out of a population of 50 million. All it takes is 200 people to change 3 or 4 artists' life that month. That's all it takes. It doesn't take 20 million people, 200,000 people. It takes like 200 people to change 4 people's lives. 1 month. Bang. They're okay. Just 200 people. That's all. So, you don't need a lot to get the ball rolling. Craig Caldwell over in the UK, walking into the office on a Monday morning wearing a box shirt when you've beaten England and you live in England, priceless. Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever forgive you for walking into the office with a box shirt. I agree, says Craig. What makes artists like Art Taylor still stay true, producing his own music and not just doing cover versions? Hats off to him and his crew. Thanks, Craig. And it's going to get better. I mean, the little glitches and things we had last night, we'll fix them. And I really do admire Garth for continuing on this journey when he's so talented, so capable at so many things. He could open a motor workshop and make more money than anyone in Joburg in the car business, or he could do woodwork or carpentry, or, with his hands and solution-driven stuff. I've never met anyone like him. And he sticks on this path of saying, no, this is my passion. This is who I am. This is what I do. I cannot stop. It's like the air that I breathe. I like that. I like real. I don't need perfect. You do not need to be perfect to be my friend. You do not need to be perfect to be welcome into the show. You don't have to be perfect to be part of the London gang. Just be real. It makes me think of a Rodriguez song, Crucify Your Mind. I think it was Alistair Jameson talking about Rodriguez, the late, great Rodriguez on the show. Just a week or two ago, Alistair mentioned him. And I didn't forget that. And tonight, as I was thinking about, hey, let's just be real with each other, I was thinking of Crucify Your Mind. That line at the end, or the verse at the end of Crucify Your Mind that says, and you assume you've got something to offer. Secrets shiny and new, but how much of you is repetition that you didn't whisper to him too? And what it says is, be real. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to repeat the perfection every time you meet someone. Just be real. So thank you for being real on the show. Where were we? We're halfway through. I'm going to need some voice notes to carry the show tonight. I mean that because I got home at 1:30. I watched the content. I looked at all the comments. I went to bed at 5 a.m. this morning, got up at 9:30. So I am running on empty. And so I'm going to need your help tonight, both in the comment section and a couple of voice notes would be nice. Come on, Cheryl, you got to leave a voice note at least. If we can get a couple of voice notes between now and 10, that will make this show worthwhile, I think. I love the arts. I worked them, and I failed hopelessly. Very easy to fail in the arts. Pet Rescue Kits.coza says 19th of June 1995, 5 p.m. on a house roof, adjusting the TV antenna just to watch the South African World Cup final. I had a friend who opened a pizza business, and he asked me if I could help with the deliveries, and I said yes, and I was his first delivery driver, Pizza Palace in Selkirk Springs, 1995. I'd been working at the World Cup rugby games, but the smaller ones. I was working at Rustenburg Stadium when Max Brito broke his neck. Do you remember that? 1995, one of the rugby players broke his neck and became paralyzed. I think he passed away a couple of years ago. His name was Max Brito. And I remember Max Brito being stretchered right past. I remember him going past me. And he broke his neck and he was paralyzed. 1995, so I was working those games. And then 95, I wasn't working the final. And I went home to Springs. And I was delivering pizzas when one of the greatest games of going to people's houses and going, and I was like, you ordered a double pepperoni, sir, and a standard margarita. Yeah, okay, here it is. Thank you. Here's your tip, £5. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Enjoy the night. Bye-bye. So get in the car, go do it again. Each time go, what's the score? That's what I was doing. What were you doing in 1995? Okay, it's nice to see some people agree with me. I'm happy you brought it up. Nobody spoke about this. Yeah, I think we should. It's not about being painful or being a pain. I just think if we want a better South Africa, we better start talking about the things we want. Like governments, I don't know. I really don't know how we're going to fix this government. I've got no faith in any politician. I really have got no faith in any politician. And even the ones I like and have faith in, I don't believe they can get right with the process that we've got in place. I just think everyone's doomed to fail. And so I don't want to direct my efforts and my energy at trying to sort political problems out anymore, or corruption. I just want to talk to ordinary South Africans and we start making the change. You know, if South African citizens made the changes they needed, we could change this country in one day. We wouldn't need the government's help. They could continue playing their games and eating too much so that they all end up looking like Michelin men. Robert Naismith says, I met some brilliant South African musicians in my lifetime. I can concur with how many of them struggled. Majority of them were awesome people too. Dr. Victor and Ken Mullen were my favorite people. Vic's a clever guy. He's been doing well in the business and still is. Radio stations should be playing more South African music. Barney Simon was a stalwart back in the day. It's always been a bone of contention. And I'd like to know what you've got to say about this, actually. So why don't you pop a comment in the comment section as I ask you this question, or leave me a voice note. There was a very concerted effort and a big push in the 90s, mid to late 90s, when the country was going through a transition and everyone was saying, well, what country do we want? One of the things was there was a big push for South African radio stations to have a quota that they needed to play of South African music. Now, the theory was that if you put more South African music on South African radio, you would do two things. You'd expose people to South African musicians and they'd hear them alongside international musicians, and the byproduct of that is that your South African musicians would then have to raise the game so that they could fit into that lineup. So you would grow the music industry. Australia did that with great success, and so that was the model that was pointed to, and people said, let's do that in South Africa. Let's make 50% local content, and the radio stations went, not on your life. No ways are we going to do that, because the radio stations know. It's much easier just to get a box in those days of CDs and a press pack and everything from Los Angeles. It's already been tried and tested. It's gone through all the focus groups. It works. It's been rotated on radio stations in LA, Spin FM Dublin, Virgin Dubai, Virgin UK. It worked there. It will work here. And they prefer that. It's easy because radio managers operate, if we operate with 10% of our brain capacity, radio station managers probably operate with about 10% of the capacity. So they just find it easier instead of working harder. And they said no. And so there was huge resistance to local content quotas. The SABC were less resistant than commercial broadcasting in South Africa. And community radio, it was really pushed on them at that time to play local content. But the commercial guys went, nah, sue us. So we've never really had a real concerted effort. We've never really had a real push to say, hey, let's make sure that 30% or whatever it might be, 50%. Would you buy that? You see, that's the question is, would the consumer, would the listener, would the person tuning in be happy with that? Or would they call the radio station and say, we can't listen to too much South Africa, can you put some more of the international on? I'll just do a quick survey. What percentage of South African music do you think should be played on South African radio? Simple question. Pop your answer in the comment section down below. What percentage of music on a local radio station should be South African music? If it should be, you let me know. And if you don't agree, put that in there as well. Barry Bowditch, I was a car bomb survivor. It's getting, I don't know whether to say better or worse. I don't know, but like, okay, one gunshot survivor, one bomb survivor on the show tonight. I missed that, says Chalet. Who is a gunshot survivor? Robert, Alistair Jameson, I survived national service. Yeah. Kelly Dover says, what you said about artists is not fake news, sadly true. Just look at the likes of Cucumber Zoo, who had to seek fame in the USA to make it profitable, as did so many others after them. It's very sad. Yeah. Dave Walter says, the lack of support for South African musicians is the same story of you not being sponsored by Coca-Cola. Yeah, I think content creators are in a similar position. It is easier to make money making content for other people. When you do it for yourself, then the game changes. And it goes back down to audience size, and unfortunately all of our platforms in South Africa are highly restrictive. It's very difficult to break into international markets from this country. The big platforms don't help you do that. Platforms like Facebook make sure that if I've got 10,000 people who I could access via my pages, they'll let me have 100 people. And then ask you to pay more. The problem with that is you can't prepay on a live broadcast. Say, hey, give me more reach. So it's all of these things that make it really, really difficult. But look, I'm not complaining. We're going to push. We'll do it anyway. Henrietta Cortez says, I'm also a gunshot survivor. Remember Bobby Adamson? May he rest in peace. I do remember Bobby Adamson. I went to school with his son Fleming. Shelley Green says all you need to do is plant the seed in someone's head about the music industry. We'll get to voice notes in just a minute. Where's Lyle? Where's Lyle, the imaginary donkey? Here's Lyle. Lyle, you better keep quiet, because if you don't keep quiet, I'm going to send you to music school and you'll have to buy your food singing songs. Try that for a living. Tom always does a retrospective of each gig. I believe it's critical. Anything you do that's live or linear, afterwards you've got to crit it. If you don't crit it, you don't know what went wrong, you don't know what went right. And if you don't do that, then you shouldn't be trying to compete with everybody else. I'm just as hard on content creators and musicians as I am on the society in the country, by the way. I don't think you should just expect things. You got to work for it. I am perfect and real, says Robert. Well, I think you need a drum roll for that, Rob. Great song. All his lyrics are fantastic. Barney Simon was spot on. If it was not for him, the previously Sarin Gas would not have been who they are today, and that's true. Rodriguez passed away about a month ago. I went to one of his last concerts at Grand West in Cape Town. Nice one. I wish I could have seen Rodriguez live. Cheryl says, send you a voice note. Switch on your machine. Alistair Jameson says, I'm going to play the voice notes just now, I promise you. How do I send not another, are you serious? Another person has asked, how do I send a voice note? There are two people? No, I don't want that. I want this one. Two people in the last week have asked, how do I send a voice note? Can we appoint someone on the one of the London gang members? Can we appoint one of the London gang members to be the official WhatsApp voice note teacher, please? Just put your hand up and say hi. Then people like Shelley Green who go, how do I send a voice note? I'm not very tech savvy. Can just reach out to someone. So somebody who's good at explaining and teaching, please, please, please. Can somebody just get hold of Shelley Green now? She's in Australia and she needs to learn how to send a voice note. Please. Maybe we should do a show on voice note lessons. Alistair Jameson's trying. I see we got some likes and some loves and some ha-has. Not enough. I love everyone that watches the show, but the people who press the like button, the heart button, the ha-ha button, I love them as much as I love Coca-Cola. And the people who don't press the heart button and the like button and the ha-ha button, I love them as much as brown bread. Shelley says, I was in a mentally abusive relationship that's under the same umbrella as domestic violence in 1995. My goodness. All right, well, we're talking about our pains and traumas, huh? Don't be ashamed. We're all just human. Tammy Singh, we'll make the change because we're South Africans, not South Africans. I didn't realize when someone said K-A-N-T in the comment section and I read it out the other night. Afterwards I thought, oh my goodness, Facebook are going to hear that differently. And then it took me 3 days to realize it was a Rugby World Cup story. Tom London, all those people that were at Gar Taylor last night, what percentage were walk-ins? And thanks to your, about 3% were walk-ins, the rest were web tickets purchases. Shelley Green, 99% if not 100% of South African music should be on the South African airways. Okay, that's a very high percentage. Community Radio did push it, Tom. Look how many local bands were supported at Canny FM. That's right, Community did. Barry Bowditch says, my cousin Mike Bowditch, his two sons and I walked past Ellis Park car bomb when it went off. We were flung at... What? There are times when I'm speechless, and that's no good on a talk show. But this is one of them. My word. My cousin Mike, his two sons and I walked past the Ellis Park car bomb when it went off. We were flung about 10 meters through the air. As it's a family show, I won't go any further, but it was very traumatic. Gee whiz, Barry. And it didn't stop you. I want to say this sensitively, because I can be quite crude. But the Barry Bowditch that I know is someone who is so full of life and celebrates life every day. I see Barry do it. So often, and many, if not most, of my friends, and perhaps that's something that will run through this London gang, I don't know. You don't have to have suffered a trauma to belong, but I think people who've been through very traumatic situations, very often the byproduct is a deep appreciation or a growing appreciation for life, for being alive. I very often tell people when they say to me, how are you? I say, I'm alive. And 9 out of 10 people go, oh, yeah, that's nice. And then 1 out of 10 looks at me in the eyes and I know, yeah, you understand what I'm talking about, mate. We don't even have to say a word to each other. I say, I'm alive. They look at me and they go, yeah, I'm alive too. I think that's the byproduct. Cheryl ponders what Tom feeds Lyle. Coke when he's being good, Pepsi when he's being bad. Voice note tutorials, Pepsi. We had a couple of people talk about percentages on radio. And that was it. So that topic bored you. Tom, I have a mixed accent, thank you, laugh out loud, part New Zealand and part Australian. Inflect on the end of the sentence, and then you got Australian. Go get that ute over there, Bruce, and park it in the garage. Did we get any more likes and things since I used psychological warfare on you? A few more. Okay, voice notes we go. You ready? Let's do some voice notes. Let's see what you got to say. Cheryl, who I was having fun with last night.
Good evening, Mr. London.
Good
Here
evening,
is your voice note
Thank
from
you.
Cheryl at Vihan. We discussed how to pronounce my surname too
Vihan.
as Vierhan.
Vier.
Vier as in Wehrmacht.
Vier.
Vier, fighting.
Jawohl.
Hahn,
Vier.
rooster. The fighting rooster.
Vier. Jawohl.
And you better be feeding your parrots grapes and
Yes.
not jelly babies.
I know, I did
or
get a
jelly
lecture.
beans.
I got a lecture last
Awesome
night.
show.
Thank you.
Awesome
I got a
time
lecture
last
night.
Thank you.
Say hi to Penny.
And Mr. London.
Yes, ma'am.
Just imagine spelling my surname my whole life. Wehrhaha.
No, you stuffed.
Yes, Wehrhaha.
No, that's it. I would change my name. I'd pick a name and change it. When people say, what's your name, please? At the chemist, for example. What's your name? Wehrhan. Next voice note. Who've we got? Alistair. Out of Primrose. Did Alistair leave a voice note? Yes, he did.
Hi Tom, Alistair here in Primrose.
Yeah.
You're talking about the music industry in South Africa.
Yeah.
The Summers were supposed to be celebrated in KwaZulu-Natal
I believe there's a problem with the Summers. Somebody said that the guys are getting fat off the money.
in the next 1 or 2 weeks. I'm not exactly sure when.
Mm-hmm.
The budget was originally set for something like 8 million to put on the show.
That's enough?
And as far as I can understand, the KwaZulu government allocated them 20 million to put on the show.
It's more than enough.
And then they pulled back and decided they were not going to give the money. There's such a human cry about this SAMAs that's supposed to be put on
Yeah.
the music awards as we celebrate all our musicians.
Yeah.
And now they're not putting it on because of the outcry.
So,
But
so there we go.
discrepancies in the funding of events and of celebrations for the music industry basically just goes into the pockets of politicians. And that's where the biggest problem is in this country. That's why our music industry is in such a shambles. It's because politicians have got involved where they shouldn't be.
Funding equals stealing. Okay, what's happening here? We got another voice note? No, we got pictures. I can't play pictures. I can play voice notes. I need voice notes. Man. Send me a voice note. Here's one.
Tom, hi. When you do that show about voice notes, please can you get people to stop apologizing for sending voice notes? Cheers.
Huh?
Tom, hi.
Do people
When you
do
do
that?
that show about voice notes, please can you get people to stop apologizing for sending voice notes?
Do people
Cheers.
do people apologize for sending voice notes? I think that I've noticed with young people, say teens and 20s, like they don't like to type. They just send voice notes all the time. Like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. What are you up to? Ah, all good. They have whole conversations with each other via voice note. And I think the older and older and older you get, the less that behavior happens until you get to a point where it becomes, how do you send a voice note? Said no 18-year-old ever. So don't feel bad. I think at our ages, we're old dogs and we got to learn new tricks. But I don't think young people apologize. Perhaps as you get older, you start apologizing. I didn't know that. I've never apologized for sending a voice note. When I started sending voice notes, I did feel kind of awkward about sending a voice note and not typing, but now I don't. Sometimes I type, sometimes I send a voice note. Do you send voice notes? We got more? Let's see. Something's coming in on the show line. You ready? Let's unleash the sing.
Good evening, Mr. Landon.
Yeah?
Did you sew your trousers?
No. There's the short answer to your short question.
Good evening, Mr. Landon.
No.
Did you sew your trousers?
No, I didn't. But I did like the good evening, Mr. London part of that.
Good evening, Mr. Landon.
I should have that loop.
Good evening, Mr. Landon. Good evening, Mr. Landon. Good evening, Mr. Landon.
I think I'm breaking radio rules
Good
here.
evening, Mr. Landon.
Hello.
Did you sew your trousers?
I didn't sew my trousers. I left them open-aired so I could get a breeze around my knees. 'Cause I like freedom for my skin. 'Cause I like to walk around my house in my birthday suit. I like to sleep. Golgat! And I only put clothes on if people have got eyes on. Otherwise, I'm like Beau Brummel, 2023. Ultimate freedom. Who cares? I'll walk around the house naked. I will cook, but not with oil. Naked. I'll lie on the couch, watch TV. Naked. I will sleep naked. Oh, teacher, leave them jeans alone. Teacher, leave them jeans alone. see what the temperature is going to be in South Africa on Monday? Nooit, bro. Did you see? I'm serious. Did you see what the temperature is going to be in Johannesburg, for example, on Monday? It's going to be 9 degrees. That's the high. Some people have packed away their winter clothes. I told you just when we started the show, a couple of shows in, I said to you, I used to stand on the balcony at Prime Media Broadcasting at 4 o'clock in the morning with Jeremy Mansfield smoking cigarettes outside. He refused to light one with my Zippo lighter. He was always miserable. Who wouldn't be at 4 o'clock in the morning? You had to get out of bed at like 2:30 to go to work. And I told you, he said, just when everyone says summer's arrived, that's when the cold snap comes. I think this year we were like, okay, all right, okay, cold. Okay, that was our cold snap. And as soon as we said, isn't it great, summer's arrived? Look what happens. Monday and Tuesday, 9 degrees in Joburg. 9, the high, 9. Now, a lot of people have got the problem I've got. I've got a gas heater, which I just put on when it's cold. And then I got to do that thing between, do I want 3 bars, 2 bars, 1 bar? Have you got a gas heater? Do you know which one I'm talking about? The one that you can roll around and it's got 3 gas panels in the front and it's got the knob at the top. And you can decide whether you want 1 panel, 2 panels, or 3. And I think, like, I don't know who did that psychology. You could never get it quite right. If you go 1 bar, this is my experience, and I don't know if I'm alone on this. If you go 1 bar, it feels like deprivation to me. It's like there are another 2 I could use, but I don't want to waste the gas. So I'll just go 1. And then it's never warm enough. So you go, in my case, I go, all right, let me blast the room for 15 minutes, 3 bars. Gets nice and warm. Okay, 2 bars, down to 2. And then the room gets cool-ish, but 2 bars I can live with. And then you go, all right, well, gee, man, I'm burning through gas bottles more than 1 a week at this 3-bar, 2-bar story. So I always, I think on top of the knob on those gas heaters, there should be a warning sign like you get on car mirrors and things. Objects in the rearview mirror may appear closer. I think there should be a warning sign on top of gas heaters that says this machine is evil. It's going to mess with your brain. You're never really going to know where it should go. 3 bars, 2 bars, 1 bar. Oh God, the money's going to go fast if it's on 3 bars. 1 bar is not cool enough. 2 is almost there. 3 for a little while. That's my relationship with the gas heater. Do you have one? We're almost finished. It's almost time to wish each other a good weekend and see each other on Monday. All right, what do people want to see? What do they want to do? Let's just fire up the bassist and the guitarist. Okay, voice notes, right? I tried, but I paused the show. Yes, that can happen. I'm a voice note person, and when I listen to them, I listen on double speed to save time. I've been around people lately who do that. They say, I just got to check a voice note, and you hear, hi, this is my voice note, we come to bang at 11 o'clock, like that. And I go, how the heck do you do it? I had a friend a couple of years back, he said, I watch my YouTube videos at double speed. Why? I mean, you can't just say that and not say why. Why double speed? Hello, Mr. London, short pants season. Yes, it is. You could make a wild montage with the voice notes you get. A wild maybe, yeah. I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm going to put the voice notes together and make a little promo from them. Do a split screen on your phone, Shelley. Okay, even I don't know how to do that. Josie de Oliveira, leave them jeans alone, peeps. We need to see his birthday suit, says Tammy Singh. Tammy. 2 liters of Coke. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Lil Cook, never. It would be completely impossible for South Africa to have a lower temp on you. I'm serious. Lil Cook does not believe me. I'm typing this into Google quickly. Joe Why do people not believe me? I wouldn't lie if I could. All right, here we go. Not Wikipedia. Weather. Why is it so hard? Oh, I didn't type in weather. Weather. All right. According to AccuWeather, the high on Monday in Johannesburg will be 8 degrees. The low, 6 degrees. There's not much of a difference. It's going to be cold the whole day. 6 degrees the low, 8 degrees the high. Tuesday, 6 degrees the low, balmy 11 degrees the high on Tuesday. I'm warning you, get the long underpants out. Get the thick socks out. Get your jerseys, get your jackets, get your scarves. Because on Monday, I don't even want to say this. If the Springboks win tomorrow, then it won't be so bad. But if they don't, can you imagine South Africa after a loss and 8 degrees in Joburg? Yeah, people will shoot each other. That's what will happen. Chalet Green said that Tammy, the birthday suit will be a tuxedo. Were you thinking I would trick you like that? I do have a tuxedo in my cupboard. I was thinking of wearing it on one of the shows. Break out the black dressing gown. That's because I haven't had a bath yet today. That's happening after the show. The part I miss is... What? The part I miss the most about not smoking anymore is my Zippo lighter. Yeah. Pet Rescue Kit, South Africa. Benjamin Jones says, only my gas heaters with wheels like a 1980s Checkers Twally. Yeah, that's right. Those are the ones. Twally for Twally. Clive Will. Bless him. Like the hot water tap in a shower. Okay, I'm out of sync with that one. Unfortunately, that's me probably. Heat, electric blanket, always on 3. That's a good idea. You sound like the Gunston guy, Tom. Yeah, it's too many camels. I mean, no sleep, too many camels for 2 days. I'm also close to the mic, so Gunston. Saves time to do everything at double speed. Everything? I'm trying to see that in my mind. Saves time to do everything at double speed. You know, I sat with you last night. I'm trying to imagine you doing it at double speed. Listening to those voice notes. Good night, beautiful people. Have a beautiful weekend. You saying good night already? Oh, that's because it's 10 o'clock. Okay, Caroline says, I have a 75-meter square open plan kitchen dining lounge that I heat up with a gas heater, 1 bar in winter. I'm in the Karoo. 9 kgs gas lasts me 10 days sufficient. Nice. That's a perfect size, 75 squares. What else have we got here? Go Bokke. Let's beat them. Okay. Chalet, we need you to practice how to do a voice note all weekend because we want to hear the accent. Penny van der Merwe has just pulled in. Better late than never. Thank you, Penny. Love the picture of your dog, by the way. Wear it a World Bow Tie Day. I will. What's a zipper lighter? Oh, no. Chalet. We're going to have a special class for Chalet Green. Please. Chalet, here's what we can do for you, right? Anything that confuses you, write it down on I don't want to say notes on your phone because you might not know how to. Write down all the things you want answers to, Chalet, and send it in a WhatsApp to the studio line. Like, if you want to know how to send a voice note, if you want to know what a Zippo lighter is, if there's anything else you want to know, Chalet, write it in a voice note. And we will do a whole show where we answer your questions. Did you quit smoking, Tom? Now you want me to be honest. I could lie. You wouldn't know. I could say, yes, I did. Because I did. Because the question is, didn't you quit smoking, Tom? Say, yes, I did quit smoking. The question isn't, did you start smoking again, Tom? I could lie. I could get through this by lying. But let me tell the truth. I stopped smoking in 2010. I actually don't have a problem stopping. I don't go through withdrawals, and because I've got a method. I double up on the nicotine patches and I chuck a whole lot of gum in my mouth, and then I buzz for about 2 weeks. I just walk around going bzzz, and I don't feel like a cigarette, and then 2 weeks later I get bored of putting patches on and I'm done and I'm fine. And I go do all the things that non-smokers do. I stopped for 10 years. When my mom died, a few days later, I picked up a cigarette. And I smoked until lockdown. And when lockdown started, I stopped smoking again, easily. And then when lockdown stopped, I went and bought some smokes. So I've been smoking since lockdown ended. And I know it's not good for me, and I actually don't plan to carry on smoking for the rest of my life. So the day will come where I go, all right, I'm bored with this again. I did, 10 years, man. And I never had bronchitis as much as I did as a non-smoker, but I'm not using that as a reason to smoke. Okay, everybody must have an awesome weekend. I'll be sitting in front of my piano. We must actually put some music, Carlos's music on. Everybody must have an awesome weekend, says Carlos. I'll be sitting in front of my piano. Write it in a voice note. Not even okay, all right. I told you I'm sleep deprived. The words are not, they're tumbling out in any order. Shelley Green, Tom, you cheeky bugger. Laugh out loud. I've never smoked. I tried, but was nearly sick. It's vile. I tell you, just vile. Yeah, that's the easiest way to stop smoking. Never start. But if you never smoke a cigarette, you'll never learn how to inhale. That was Bill Clinton's problem. He just never learned how to inhale. Okay, this is your chance to say goodnight to each other, wish each other well over the weekend. A couple of minutes or two before I say goodbye. So look after each other, look after yourself, have a great Saturday and Sunday. I expect you to be back Monday night at 9 p.m. because we've got some things going on next week. I'm keeping them under wraps. We've got some cool stuff going on. How does my hair look? Very different. Good evening. I don't like that. I'll wrap you up like a glove. I'll carry you in my arms. I'll whisper you sweet charms as I take you to my room and lay you on the bed and wish you a good night's sleep so deep it looks like you are dead. Who says I'm not romantic? Who says I'm not an empath? I hope your Saturday is half as good as your Sunday, and I hope your weekend is the best weekend you've had this year. I hope you return to me on Monday night at 9 p.m. I hope you tell a friend to join us and become part of the London gang. I hope you got food in your stomach. I hope you got blood in your veins and money in your pocket. Most of all, I hope to see you again on Monday. Thanks for participating in the most interactive online show in the known universe. I'll be back with you again on Monday. Until then, hold on.
Tom, I've just figured out how the split screen works, bro. And I can send a voice note. Hey, man.
Benjamin,
How cool is that?
Monsieur. Already.